Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I have one of your favorites, the tall, funny, great-haired, blessed by God, delight, Justin Martindale.
Good morning.
Welcome back to Juicy Scoop. You and I are going to have a romantic weekend together this weekend at the Tempe Improv. One show Friday, two shows Saturday, selling very well. I think there's only probably tickets left for the second show Saturday, but double check because you're going to get Justin and then you're going to get me.
I didn't know. Is it going to be romantic? I didn't know that was part of the
I thought we would
deal.
do a cute lunch.
I would love a cute lunch.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm getting a cute lunch. Took me 2 years. I'm getting a cute lunch. I can't wait.
Yes. So first, we have so much to discuss.
Yes.
But here's a story from Hot Celebs, HAWT, celebs.com. It's me leaving Craig's on Saturday night. And I need to talk to you because it was a lot of your comedy friends that were there.
Who?
Well, I sat down with my girlfriend and you know, we were supposed to go out with Lisa Gastineau of the Gastineau Girls. And I said on my Patreon, she may flake. And she did. Said she wasn't feeling well. So it was just the two of us. But then my friend had this adorable couple staying with them. This hot guy who's a New Zealand they're both from New Zealand. She's a Victoria's Secret model. He's a professional soccer player.
From New Zealand.
Dying.
Yeah, bye.
So they came and joined us and they have a baby that her nanny was watching. Anyway, right when I sat down, Sarah Silverman comes over. Oh, hi, Heather. Oh, hello. So I said, I hope you come to do Juicy Scoop. I know I asked you 5 years ago. I go, but now, and she goes, but now I know you're like a big deal. I don't know if that was nice or mean. But I said, I just think the fans would like it. Love to have you on, girl. Love to have you on. I just want people to know that when you bring up people that you'd love to have me on the show, Kathy Griffin, Sarah, I have asked all these people. I have met them in person and asked them. I have DM'd them. I have asked. So just know, I don't need to beg.
The offer's there.
I got Justin.
Yeah, I'll show up.
Yeah.
I was not invited to Craig's, and I'm here. I was probably on stage doing my thing.
So then the drinking starts.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because I Ubered it, okay? And it's Saturday. I rarely go out, like, on a Saturday night. It's usually, like, a Tuesday or something. So, and I've got, Pilates the next day and recording. So I start having the cucumber martinis that I really love. And this girl that I know through a mutual friend, she comes back to my table. I met her earlier. She lives out in Hidden Hills. She goes, come out to the back because Jeffrey Ross and Chris Rock are there.
Oh.
I said, all right.
This was Saturday?
This is Saturday.
I saw Jeff Ross Saturday.
So this was probably like, I think he said he did the store.
He did, yeah.
At
I brought him up.
9:30.
I brought him up on stage.
Okay, well, he immediately got in his car and went over to Craig's.
God. I should have stayed in the green room and been invited. Probably
I know. You might have been. Okay, so I go and I go, hey, now Jeffrey Ross knows who I am. Chris Rock, I don't think I've ever met. I've never worked with.
Yeah,
so
Chris
I
Rock
assumed
popped in, yeah.
he does not know me. And so I said, hello, I'm Heather McDonald, a comedian as well. So we just start talking, and I'm pretty buzzed and having good conversations. And we start talking about, and I said, about going out on the road again. And I go, for some reason, I'm very passionate about Adele flaking. Which we have not discussed. But I said on my Patreon last week, she's dick whipped. She is in love with this guy and she's freaking out that he's not with her 24/7. And along with all the other things that her personality of anxiety, canceling shows, being nervous that it has to be talking toilets like Katy Perry, like we talked before. I've read all the articles about it, but my first thought when I heard that she was crying when she flaked, when she canceled it last minute, I said, I think it's because she has new dick in her life and she's obsessed with it and he's in, not only is he a hot, cute boyfriend, but he is a sports agent who's around very popular athletes. That's the nervous thing for a girl that maybe is worried that her guy's going to cheat.
She's got the new dick nerves. I think that's a thing.
It is. And so anyway, I start talking about, and I have to say, they start laughing. And then my friend Krista comes over, and she's very gorgeous. And so she starts talking to them. Now, I go over to the other table where now Tara Reid is with these.
What?
Tara Reid is with.
You need to lead with that. Tara Reid's out in the wild again?
Originally, Tara Reid was sitting at the Chris Rock, Jeffrey Ross table.
Wow.
And then I've interviewed Tara Reid. And really what I remembered is that she had lipstick all over her teeth. And I never said anything.
Nature's healed,
It was Hollywood Today Live with Ross Matthews. And I was like, Ross, like, it still haunts me to this day that you and I didn't tell her that she has the red lipstick on her teeth, which is a very common mistake, which is why I really don't even wear red lipstick. But based on your smile or whatever. And we did this whole interview, like on a major syndicated talk show. And I'm just, now, of course, she didn't remember me either. But I wasn't going to lead with the lipstick. But I did say, I did interview you a couple of years ago, whatever. So then she hops back to the other table that originally she was at a party with, the Hidden Hills people. So now my friend Krista's talking to them. And who doesn't want a hot, gorgeous, like, Latina girl sitting there talking?
Yeah, she's stunning.
Yeah, I mean, she's
gorgeous.
So,
I've met her, yeah.
But then I come over, we're still talking to them. Now it's Jeffrey Ross, Chris Rock, and some other guy. And then
he was with Jeff. I know
the most embarrassing thing happens.
You farted.
Worse.
What? Worse than farting?
Security comes over and tells us to leave.
No.
Yes.
Wait, you or the whole group?
Just Krista and I. No, because the whole group's at their own table. They're normal people that are couples out from Hidden Hills having fun.
Why did you get us to leave?
I don't know if there was like a wink, wink, get these bitches away, or the security just felt these girls have stayed too long at in a very... Anyway, the point of it being so horrifying for me is that approximately 25 years ago, a similar situation happened to me with Jerry Seinfeld, where I squatted myself at his table with his friend at the Beverly Hills bar. No, at the Four Seasons in Beverly Hills, that bar there where a lot of Russian hookers go. I was like, seize the day. I've been doing stand-up for 2 years or 3 years.
You've made it.
I've got big tits like his 18-year-old girlfriend, Shoshana, even though he's 38. I'm only 25. I think I'm young enough for him to maybe like. I'm funny. Squatted there and ordered a beer. And then when the beer came, I kept talking to him and his friend, who's like clearly some writer with a baseball cap on. And he goes... Heather, I thought you said when you got your beer you would take it and leave.
To your face?
To my face.
Good God.
Haunted me. Never ran into him since. People say, why don't you do comedians in cars? I go, God, if I ever do, that'll be the fucking story I lead with. It's haunted me forever. So then, here it is.
The anniversary.
25 years later. 25 years later.
To the day.
To the day. What if it was like I know the day? But honestly, it was like 20-something years ago, more. And I'm like, once again, I'm just the girl that is not as successful as these male comedians. And I think that we're going to jam it on after I've had 3 martinis. And they're like, see ya.
Did you say anything?
No, they didn't. They did. They were, first of all, I want to say, all 3 of them were completely nice.
Yeah.
We definitely could have, we may have overstayed our welcome. They may have Now,
They might have needed the table.
Also, I don't think you go to Craig's on a Saturday night to have a hardcore pitch meeting or business. You're going there to be seen. There's paparazzi outside. It is a vibe where people do get up. This is not the private Soho house where you can't go up to people's tables and take photos. Like, people are there to, like, be social. So anyway, I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's go. Fuck, this is so embarrassing. This is fucking, Jerry Seinfeld again. Get out. I no matter how many podcasts I do and how many times the world tells me that they love Justin Martindale when he's on a walk in the woods.
Yay!
You got recognized.
That was so sweet. In the woods. This lady, I'm walking with my boyfriend, and she's like, juicy scoop. And I went, what? And I didn't hear it, and my boyfriend did, and he was like, oh, babe, juicy scoop. And I thought she was just saying, like, good morning. And I was like, morning. And she's like, no, juicy scoop. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know that Chris Rock and Jeffrey Ross know that what a big deal this is. Anyway, so we leave. And they walk out, and they're like, we say goodbye to them when they're leaving, and there's like a little talk between my friend and him, and that's it. But, you know, I get in the car, go home, and I had the fucking, like, fear of God at like 5 a.m, hungover, like, what did I say? Mm-hmm. You loser.
This is all too familiar for me.
Like, why?
Take a Silkwood shower, get that steel wool out.
Yeah. Why didn't I just say hello and like Happy New Year? Glad you guys are out.
Yeah.
There was so much more that I said that I can remember. I just don't want to relive it right now. Anyway.
See, I would have had at least you didn't get a little surly. Like if they're like, we need you to leave, and you were like, you look over and you're like, I see how it is. Yeah, I know when I'm not wanted. I'll see you in hell and on Juicy Scoop.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy because like I was just with those guys and they were like, good seeing you, Justin. And I'm like, bye. And you're like, I was hanging out with them.
My God,
and I'm like,
nothing would
we
have
were
been more
there.
fun.
We were like in the multiverse. We were with the same people, but in different locations. That's kind of cool.
Nothing would have been more fun than if you were at the table. So anyway, I started to get ready that night.
I wonder if we would have stayed if I was there.
Yes.
No, probably not. They'd be like, there's some dishes in the back.
No, we would have partied harder, but then I got in the car and left. And they went off to gay bars.
They went to gay bars?
Yes.
Who?
My friend Krista and
I thought Chris Rock and Jeff Ross. I was like, what?
Krista and the couple.
Oh.
Just because that's like the closest next place, and they had fun.
Where'd they go? Do you know?
I think they went to like the Abbey or something. Yep. Yeah. So they,
be careful.
The basic bitch.
Yeah.
No, it was all fun. But when I started to get ready on Saturday, I definitely was not expecting a fun night at all. And then. Well, this part maybe I'll save for later. Well, we had something a little interesting happen. There's this guy that we always see when we go out that we both assumed was gay because what other friends do I have?
Oh, is this a cry for help?
No, but it's kind of weird that she's like, I just found out, he's not gay. And then when we went through the history of like, how she met him and where I've met him and all the places we've seen. And he introduced me to his friend, who I assume was his boyfriend. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, this is about the worst gay personality I've ever met. It turned out he was straight. They're both straight.
So were you shocked? So this was your metamorphosis on RuPaul's Drag Race this season? I don't know
if I feel a little bit duped. Mm-hmm. There was no point in which he ever said his sexuality. But if you know, like, who I am and you're at, like, Pump and all these other kind of gay like, and you're at the two parties of, like, former housewives. Mm-hmm.
You assume. You put two and two together.
Yeah.
So are you gay profiling people now, Heather?
I mean, do I have to start asking if men that approach me aren't gay? Because I just assume they all are. And now I'm like, what? How did a straight sneak in here?
You need to get one of those like COVID thermometers that check your forehead and just see if it says gay or not. And you're like, okay, come on in. Come on in.
Like, it's okay, but it was just like what?
But once you found out he was straight, were you like...
I mean...
Oh, really? Just doing a shimmy.
Well, also, he bought me a drink. And I also felt a little guilty about that.
Mm-hmm. Why?
I don't know. I just felt like, I feel less guilty about a straight guy buying me a drink.
You feel less guilty about a straight guy buying you a drink?
Yeah, if a straight guy bought me a drink, I'd be like, oh, okay, sure, why not? You're straight, whatever. But a gay guy, I'm like, save your money for the Abbey.
Yeah, that's $25 a drink.
Like, what are you doing spending it on me?
Yeah. Well, that's sweet of you.
Well,
you're such an ally, Heather. God, if you're not the Grand Marshal of this year's Pride, I don't know who will be.
Oh, my God. Well,
your 2022 Grand Marshal, Heather McDonald. She was kicked out of Craig's. Asked to leave at Craig's.
Not kicked out. Asked to remove to remove my... this female stand-up needs to remove herself from this much more popular male stand-up table is really what it is.
That's the platform you need to go off. I was asked to leave because I'm a woman.
I'm a woman. They didn't want to talk. They were perfectly nice.
Yes, they're great.
But I don't know if a wink happened with the security guard or if the security guard just got a vibe of like, these chicks have been there long enough and...
Getting a little chatty, maybe.
Yeah, getting a little boozy. Let me do a favor because they pay me well. You probably tips them really well.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, hello. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. I love reading all the comments. I know how much you love it and depend on it. Well, make sure that you subscribe, share, like it, tell a friend, spread the word so that it is really worth my while to keep doing this and doing hair and makeup and looking cute as well as being funny. You're welcome. So anyway, moving on. Have you watched any of this documentary on A&E, The Dark Truth of the Playboy Mansion?
I have not. It is in the queue. I have so much stuff that I'm watching, but it's definitely on there. I do follow Holly Madison on TikTok, so I've seen some of her stories.
Yes.
And Kendra was on the show, obviously, so
yes,
I feel like...
Yeah, Kendra's on here. As you know, they don't get along. They have no relationship now, Kendra and Holly. Mm-hmm. Holly came on my show years ago, like the first year of me doing Juicy Scoop, when her book first came out. Mm-hmm. And it was, to me, I want to pull it up and maybe put it on Patreon. It wasn't that great of an interview. I felt that she was still very, very guarded and holding back. What's interesting is now in this documentary, she realizes that she is a late in life diagnosed, like might have Asperger's.
Oh, really?
Yes. And she didn't really realize it growing up, and she didn't realize it when she entered the Playboy Mansion. But that is so intriguing to me because obviously, like, now we realize when you even look back at like maybe kids in your school or whatever, and you think, you know, oh, probably if it was today, they would probably be able to diagnose this. Instead, they were just odd or unpopular or whatever.
Awkward.
Yeah, or like, oh, you know.
Right.
But then, you know, so it's interesting because she's like, I had a hard time like interpersonally with people and all this. And so her story, you know, her whole thing is, yes, I was obsessed with Playboy. I was obsessed with that look. I wanted to do that. I got to the parties. I went out with all the girls that night. They asked me to stay. They have their group sex where they have to hop on Hugh Hefner, and he doesn't use condoms, and it's very mechanical. You do some stuff with girls. There's porn on the big screen, and it's very mechanical, and that's what happens. And the next day he said, do you want to live here? And she said, yes. And so she knew the deal. And then kind of like what I'm watching now, Sister Wives, you know, she then moved herself up to the top, but then the other girls kind of hated her because he would say, why can't you be hot like Holly? Holly follows the rules. Holly likes to watch Casablanca over and over again. He always had old movie nights.
Yeah.
Holly's an old soul. It's like, no, she's not. She's just... just being associating herself with whatever. She
just knows her place.
She knows her place, and so then the girls started to like hate her, and then this one girl that she was, you know, that was part of it, was recruiting some of the other when he had like 7 girlfriends. She was recruiting them to go be escorts through this like woman that probably took over for Heidi Fleiss.
Oh, got it.
And I guess it got back to Hugh. And then that girl assumed it was Holly who told. And Holly to this day says, I didn't tell. But that girl then, you know, left the mansion and all the girls hated Holly, and everyone thought it was Holly. And to this day, Holly's like, it wasn't me who told. But I mean, I don't know. So it's pretty, it's good. It's on Mondays. There's only 2 episodes in. But
okay. I'll watch it tonight.
It gets a lot darker and everything.
Yeah,
and
wasn't there something about him like having sex with a dog or something?
So there was one former girlfriend who says she walked in on him doing something with her dog, and she was like, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, it was just this once. It's just, you know, I was just being silly, whatever. And, you know, people are very upset about that. And they're like, there's no proof to this. And that's about the worst thing you could say about Hugh. And that's not true. And she's saying it is.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, continued to stay with him, but just never let her dog be alone with him. Sorry, that is what she said.
That's crazy. So I mean, I'm reading this headline now, and it's like, I'm sure there was orgies. We all saw the grotto.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like, you'd have these like big power players come to the mansion, and I'm sure there was like a lot of seedy shit going on in there.
Okay, so
and we knew all about it.
So I went to a handful of the parties in the late 90s, and I got invited because I was out one night. I met Bill Maher, and then Bill Maher's friend invited us to a party out at a club, and then the guy's like, "Would you like to go to the Playboy Mansion?" And then I got put on the list. And then every time I get to a party, they take a photo of me to make sure I was still cute enough, and I'd be invited to the next. I want to say, looking at this photo, I absolutely do not think I was cute enough to go to this party. What the fuck?
I mean, you definitely are giving off like...
I guess I look kind of young, maybe.
You look really young. This is like a Victoria's Secret nightie?
No, I have it here because
thank you.
I just cleaned out my closet, and I could not give it away. And it is from Trashy Lingerie. And
oh,
it's like
yes, on La Cienega.
It's a little purple dress. And my son asked me the other day, Mom, when you went to the Playboy Mansion, were you wearing like G-strings and underwear and stuff there? And I said, no. I wore little satin lingerie dresses just so my boys know. I ate up a storm. As you can see, I have like a
This
pooch.
is what Mommy wore, okay?
Yeah.
This is what Mommy wore.
Do it.
Mommy had taste back in the day. This is what I wore, kids. Your mother would walk around in this while women were having Quaalude orgies. This is what I wore.
Exactly. I have to say, I would drive my Toyota Celica from Brentwood to park at UCLA, which then you'd get on the bus.
Yeah.
I was always sober enough to get off the bus and drive home because there weren't Ubers and shit like that.
Yeah, no.
So I never really got that wasted during those years because I didn't have the Uber like I do now to take me back from Craig's when I get wasted.
Yeah,
I had to always kind of be, and I ate a lot. I was always starving. And there was tons of free food. Here's Carmen Electra, gorgeous.
I mean, my God, Carmen Electra. What
Let's
year?
Get her on
what
the
year
show.
Is this? Do you know
this would have been 1998 or 9.
Yeah.
Because the last party I got invited to was New Year's Eve, turning into 2000.
Oh, God. You went to the Playboy Mansion on New Year's Eve 2000?
No, I made a horrible mistake. I called
Jerry Seinfeld.
Worse. I called to RSVP and I said, and for my +1, I'd like to bring my husband. I'm married now, thinking that the lady that's been inviting me to the last 10 parties would be happy for me. No. She said, oh, absolutely not. This is a singles party. And then never invited again.
You said, why? 2K. Why?
And my husband, he wouldn't even been cared because he took a photo of me in this. I was living at his place when I went to the party. He was like, go ahead. Like, I was on, my little MTV show. Carmen knew who I was. She was so nice.
Yeah, she looks great.
And then here is OJ's friend, Kato Kalin.
Cool boy.
And so you can see this is a different party, and I'm in another little red satiny thing. Anyway.
Was this a pajama party, or is that just the vibe?
No, these were the pajama parties. Then there was Midsummer Night's Dream would be like a different outfit.
Yes. Okay.
Then there was Halloween, Halloween costumes. At one point, they didn't allow cameras anymore, so we couldn't take photos. And I can't remember how many I went to, but I probably went to like 5. And then I went to some smaller ones. Like they called me and they're like, "Oh, he had this girlfriend, Brooke something, Hugh Hefner, and she just got on like Baywatch Hawaii." And they're like, "Oh, we're having a smaller party to celebrate Brooke." I mean, I can't believe I was invited to this shit. Anyway, so you go around and I would always see. David Schwimmer, Chachi, what the hell is his name? Scott Baio, the old guy that was in Misery, John. James Caan.
Yes.
There'd be those fixed. There'd be the old. There was a group of his old friends. That then every Sunday you'd have to go watch Casablanca. And they invited me to the Sunday movie thing. And I'm like, I do not want to do that. Because I knew that was just being forced to watch an old movie, which is like, he was my dad's age.
Yeah.
And my dad was already old to be my dad. So I was like, I don't need to. watch any more black and white films. So I only wanted to go to like the killer parties with the killer food. And I have to say, like,
easy with the word killer, though, because I mean, Kato Kaelin's right in that picture with you. God, Heather.
Anyway, it was very fun. It was just like a fun night. I mean, I never met any guys there because there were hardly any. Oh yeah, I'm sure. And girls were like, it was work for these girls. If they were the girlfriends, they took pictures all night. They danced all night. You know, so, and then there were the girls that were just in the naked, they were just naked, but they had painted on bikinis. But yeah, it was just more like an extravagant killer party. Mm-hmm. And one that, you know, you can brag about on Juicy Scoop 25 years later. Let's talk about your thoughts on everything that's going on with Kanye West, because there's a lot. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Like, well, we can begin. We talked about with, and why does this guy behind him look like me? Like, it looks like I'm just like in the back. TMZ is saying, we'll start with this story. Yeah. There's like 5. TMZ is saying Kanye West says, "I want homeless to model my clothes." How would? Okay. I've seen Kanye's clothing. Already, the homeless are already wearing it. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. How would you know that they were homeless? Like, is it just elevated homeless chic? Is that what they want? How about, is he paying these homeless people to walk in the like, that's what I would, like, here's some free Yeezys. I'd be like, can I get a sandwich? I don't understand. I think it's like he's doing this whole like Good Samaritan thing. I honestly, the latest have no clue. Heard is that this article came out from TMZ, and then there was another something I heard that like he's calling Pete Davidson gay and he has AIDS. No, but with this that that this really might not be happening. Like he said it in one of his things, but like no one's contacted, and like. Who gets chosen? I mean, what is Tyra going to come out of retirement and pick the people? I mean, like, what is going on? Is there like a gold Wonka bar that like gets scattered around the homeless and they're like, oh, I got a golden ticket. Like, I get to model. Yeah. And then like, do you imagine like, I kind of want to see the show. Well, like what? First of all, okay, so now you're working for Kanye. Right. You're the stylist. Mm-hmm. Well. I mean, he's the stylist. I assume they get COVID tests. But what else? I mean, I would want like, are you on methamphetamines right now? Test. Are you mentally capable? Test. I mean, that's why this whole thing makes no sense. Yeah. Like, it's fine that you say it and we're talking about it, but like, if you honestly think about what goes down to even, you know, have somebody do a small production, now you're dealing with people that, you know, don't have paperwork, aren't, you know, are literally living on the street. You're just going to let them, you're going to have them model, and like, who's going to make sure that they're taken care of? And then, of course, did they properly get paid? And then you're just going to give them $200 in cash to go shoot up? I don't know. I think I would love to see that show, though. I mean, could you just imagine like Anna Wintour in the front and then someone's just like, just walk. I love it. Yeah, she's like, oh, the spectacle. You know, I think that would be, it can happen. There's no way it's happening. Okay, here we are. Okay, so here's the other one. Yeah. He also is allegedly spreading rumors, this is also from TMZ, that he's telling people, and like at a party or wherever, that Pete Davidson has AIDS, and then those people have then reported to TMZ that he's what he's saying. I think this is trash, honestly. I think at this point. Do you think he's saying it to people? Or do you think absolutely. I think he's totally saying it. I think he's so like, he's snapped. Yeah. He doesn't know, like he's mad. She's moving on. He now has this like weird. Julia Fox. Who cares? Who I've heard she's awful too. Like I just thought of this one because we don't have the info, but I just read an article like from Hollywood Unlocked or something like that said, that apparently a source said that Drake was pursuing her before Kanye and had given her 2 big expensive handbags. Yeah, and so she's just like one of those girls that's running in the circles trying to. Well, and I'm like, what? So you're making a derogatory term that gay is bad. Like, oh, he's gay and he has AIDS, which is, I just think
disgusting to
What is it, 1985?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's such a trope from like the 80s and early 90s where it's like, no, he's gay. Ha ha. But also I'm like, Kanye, you dress your girlfriends and do their makeup.
Speaking of that, let's just remember this amazing moment. Amber Rose.
Yeah.
One of the greatest tweets of ever in the world.
Epic.
Also a guest on Juicy Scoop. On 1/27/16, the anniversary just happened. At Kanye West. Are you mad I'm not around to play in your asshole anymore? # fingers in the booty ass bitch.
Fingers in the booty ass bitch. Fingers in the booty.
Perez Hilton reminded me of this.
Yeah, 60. I love how this is an anniversary. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, remember this tweet?
So
I just think, I you know what? I just don't understand how he can't. It's like the whole thing with Taylor Swift. He can't let go of things.
Yeah.
Like he just has to hold on to them to, like, I don't know if it's like I need to stay relevant or I just have a grudge and I don't have to deal with this stuff. But I'm like, this is why Kim got out.
Yes. I mean,
I'm
the more
so happy
you hear
for
about
her.
it, the more and I've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
I've been like, I can't, once they break up, she's going to be able to wear color. It immediately happened. She's going to stop having to wear giant, ski jackets in the middle of July in Hidden Hills. She's eventually get ready for the house to have some color and some paintings and things.
Yeah.
The fact that she went along with all that, with everything he said for so long, is sort of interesting because you think she's such like a strong woman and has her own opinion, but somehow she was sucked under his spell and really, like, I think allowed him to sort of lead her to a place. And then, but what an annoying nightmare he must have been.
Well, I think that too. It's like, and his new girlfriend, what's her name? Julia Fox?
Yes.
Of course,
so
we have another Fox. Oh, good God.
So this was kind of funny. This is the photo of them at a fashion show. He has the ski mask on, and she's got the crazy black makeup and a black jacket.
Black Swan.
And Bravo OMG Instagram, very funny, wrote, "These are the burglars that Tom confronted and then had to go to get eye surgery. And then Erica's son had to go over and help. And then Erica's son, he rolled over the car 5 times on the way home, and she was under a lot of stress." So, yeah, they look like burglars. So they went to fashion shows dressed like this.
It's very, you know, and I've heard that she herself has been obsessed with the Kardashians. So So now I think that's kind of like there's some sort of like, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Like a synergy that Kanye's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, here, I can come over here and I'll make you into one.
Right, exactly. And I also think, you know, there's certain actresses that throughout their career knew that this kind of romance publicity will skyrocket you to a way that then the world can see your real talent.
Yeah.
And you're just like jumping 12 steps through a dick. Okay. Use your femininity. Screw Kanye. Yeah.
She's got the new Dick Blues or whatever.
Who knows if they're even screwing?
Yeah.
He might not even want to screw. Okay, Kanye West kisses Julia Fox's Daily Mail with tongue at star-studded Paris event this week where he wears eerie lenses. So he's got these crazy contacts that makes his pupils look really small. After the rumor spread, here it is, that she used to date Drake, okay? So here they are. She's got her crazy black makeup on.
God, that's so bad.
And, you know,
like
gloves.
Just grabbed charcoal and just smeared it across your eyes.
Because he probably came up with that. He's probably like, you know what would look hot? You know how all of a sudden he just has an idea?
Oh, yeah.
And
I forget because he's God. Right?
Yeah, and they're just kissing gross. And then there was also video of him, I guess he's yelling at paparazzi about how to film him meeting. He's like, I'm meeting my girl. Get out of the shot. Get out of the shot. And everyone's like, this is hilarious that he is directing paparazzi on how to do the job. And then one guy.
But Pete Davidson's gay? Have you ever met a gay guy be like, no, right here, like go up? Like, can you just, like, hold on, guys. Like, seriously. Can you guys just get out of the way? Like,
and then
what straight guy is like directing paparazzi?
And then she meets him at the airport. He's like picking her up from getting off the plane or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's got, you know, the full stomach exposed. And I'm like, oh, like we're supposed to believe that you wore that on a plane. Like, could anything be more uncomfortable than having your full stomach exposed on a fucking plane with your bare back on the like gross thing?
Those jets on you.
No matter how thin you are, you got some curls when you're sitting down. Like, are you kidding me?
Get some peanuts in your belly button.
Oh God! Like, shut up. It's all so dumb.
Yeah.
You know what? I know people like her in her, whatever that show, what's the show called?
Uncut Gems.
Yeah. I've not seen it. I know people like that show. I don't like you.
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed with everything you're doing, Julia Fox. Go away.
It's like a downgrade. It's definitely a downgrade.
Like you are on a good show. You were a good actress.
Yeah.
You could have like been legit.
Yeah.
Now, like,
and I've heard that she's had some like spats with people in restaurants and stuff. Maybe not Craig's. Maybe she gave the wink, but I've heard that she's been like, oh, those people are staring at me. Can you, like, what's your problem? Like, she's done, like, she's kind of that girl. Yeah. 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 Oh my God, I can't believe I'm being looked at right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Get out of here.
Amazing. Courtney got a new piercing.
Good for her.
But what's interesting, she got a nipple piercing, but then she made a little hole in her black dress to have the ring pop out.
Let everyone know.
Yeah. So
give it some room. Free the nip.
Very confused by Courtney's transformation.
Why?
I mean, I guess I'm not confused. It's just kind of like you were like hippy dippy Earth mom, and now you're punk rock girlfriend, which is kind of funny, and we've all made fun of it that she's like that girl in high school that starts dating the different guy. I mean, it's straight out of Valley Girl.
It's straight out of
Valley. She's the Valley Girl. She starts dating Nicolas Cage,
guy,
and she kind of starts to change her clothes, and her friends are like, ew, why? Yeah,
I say let her have a midlife crisis with a K.
Okay, I love it.
You know what? I think she's having fun, and I'm going to have her back on this. She did it first.
And you know what?
She's the first one who
started.
started.
I have to say, she's, and please don't go after me because I don't care because I think she looks great. But I definitely think she's, gained a few lbs and she still looks great. Mm-hmm. So that's always the sign that you're like happy and in love, that you're just like a little bit like, let me eat what I want to eat. Let me not like freak out and work out every day.
Yeah.
Now, Khloe, on the other hand, Drunk Dawn.
No pun intended, on the other hand.
Drunk Dawn. Wait, it's Drunk. What is it? It's
Drunk Drawn. I love Drunk Drawn.
Drunk Drawn is an amazing artist on Instagram.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's a guy or girl, but this person gets inspired by stuff in pop culture and everything and drew this. So Khloe did this photo that kind of went crazy because everyone was like, now we know Khloe loves the long, long nails. But she's wearing this like all bodysuit, these over the knee, like designer Fendi boots or something. And, the body's
I think it's Skims. It looks like Skims.
Well, the body's looking snatched, whether it's photoshopped or not. She's, flat tummy and all that.
Yeah.
But the hands were like, I don't know. Her fingers were very long and gray. And it kind of scared people. It reminded them of chicken.
I posted this. My friend Kelsey sent me this early in the morning. She was in New York, and she sent me this. And like I was getting up,
boots.
having coffee, and she was like, "You need to see this." And I immediately posted it because you saw Chicken Hands, I saw Nosferatu, which is a classic black and white film that I'm sure Hugh Hefner watched on Sundays during the Halloween season. But it is straight up vampire. You know who Nosferatu is?
No.
Like that old, it's like the first vampire. Yeah. And he comes out of the coffin.
Yes.
That is exactly what I saw. She's giving me Nosferatu realness. I mean, and I posted this and people were like, oh my God. And then I posted it in the morning. And then that's when all the accounts started being like, hey, look, it's Nosferatu. And people were like, they stole your idea. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what the internet does. Now,
well, that's why when I come up with when I see these things. So wait, you made this? No.
I didn't make this.
Now,
no, I
don't
said
know
it
if
was
this
a
was
vampire.
Cynthia Nelson or someone sent it to me. So if you made this thing,
no, I didn't make.
Don't get mad
the
at
chicken.
me.
No, but that's a funny. No, I did the
chicken
full
thing is funny.
I did the vampire thing, and then I actually taped actual nails to my face and was like,
yes, I saw that. Yes,
I was like, thanks for the inspiration, Khloe. It's crazy. Here's the thing, and a lot of the questions was, how does she wipe herself?
Also, I think
How do you do it?
I think her fingers, they do look kind of bony and everything, but also I think the shadow made them look gray.
Well,
and that didn't. And then
you know what happens when a vampire gets in the sun, right? She has to stay in the shadows because she'll just turn to dust. It is a lot. I'm just still confused. Does she have a bidet? Does she pay somebody? How does she hold the baby?
Well, the girl is like 4 now, so I guess. But the super long nails, I really just don't get.
You think that's a trend that's going to be over soon?
Yeah, it always goes in and out.
Yeah.
The nail trends right now, but My nails are like normal, but they're kind of long for me, but whatever. Kim was caught
Shopping.
photoshopping.
Oh, photoshopping.
And you can see she did like a really weird, I don't know why she would do that in the back of her leg. She does this a lot.
She's really bad at Photoshop. She had one where, like, I guess her hand, it looked like bendy or something, and remember that when her finger like bent all the way back?
It's a fun thing for people to follow. And then Courtney did this other one where she was wearing like a leopard robe or something, and she was turning around the back, and people accused her of making her ass look bigger.
Okay.
And then she did take it down.
Shocker.
Took it down right away when she was called out.
I love Photoshop detectives. I wish I could Photoshop.
What if that was someone's like, oh my God, that should be a new...
Photoshop detectives.
Should be a new...
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll pitch it.
It's a competition. You know what? It shouldn't be a full show. It should be there should be a show.
Photoshop Wars.
Yes. And then, or like there's a little, like, okay, you guys, you think that you are stars of the internet. Who's going to be able to detect, there was
Photoshop.
Yes. And then they do fresh photos. And they actually do photoshopping, and then someone has to go, this was photoshopped or this was not.
Or we take someone gross, like, and then we, like, make them look like, that Hollywood A-list and be like, for $5,000, is this a real person or not?
Yeah.
Has this been photoshopped? And they're like, no, it's a real person. And then we bring out the, like, the Kanye model comes out, and you're like, nope, it's actually a Kanye homeless model. Oh, okay. That would be a great show. We could pitch that to Jeff Ross and Chris Rock at the booth at Craig's.
There's a woman on TikTok or wherever that does that has no teeth.
Oh, yeah, I know her.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And so no teeth, like no eyebrows, skinny. Yes. So she looks like someone that could be modeling in Kanye's outfit. And then she does all her makeup and pops in her teeth and pops in her hair and everything else. And
it's one of my favorite things are the catfishers of TikTok.
Yes.
Because there's another one who's like, it's like they have like red hair. I don't know if how they identify, but I can't really tell. But like same thing, red hair, like, real pasty, and then all of a sudden it's just like glam, and you're like, like it's like a hard wind hitting me. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, so, Photoshop Wars. I'm here for it.
Now, I am outraged.
You are?
Outraged as Disney debuts new look for Minnie Mouse, ditching her iconic red dress in favor of a progressive blue sustainable pantsuit. How do we know it's sustainable? It's digital. Anyway, by Stella McCarthy after vowing to take a new approach to the Snow White remake.
Also, it's a cartoon.
Okay, the only reason I'm not outraged, but I just want to say I just don't think it's cute. I don't think blue with black polka dots is very cute. I think we could have done sorry, Stella, I think we could have done a cuter pantsuit look.
I disagree. As someone wearing my Cozy Earth pantsuit right now.
Okay.
I think this is cute. I like Minnie Mouse like this in the daytime. And I think this is her like, I'm going to chill at home with Mickey. We're going to sit on the couch.
No, I don't think the red dress is ever coming back.
Oh, you think this is Minnie forever?
Yeah, she's not adding it to her wardrobe.
Well, it's very like post-pandemic.
No, the truth is she cleaned out her closet like I did this weekend.
Yeah, and she said, you know what? I've had this dress. It's had a good run. Let her live. Let Minnie live. You know what? She's been overshadowed by Mickey this whole time. She's trying to be her own mouse.
Yeah. My dress.
She's tired of Daisy getting all the attention.
Oh, Daisy's the duck.
Yeah, Daisy.
Isn't Daisy still kind of slutty looking?
Daisy, I think, is a little more.
What?
Doesn't wear pants.
Yeah, wait. Daisy doesn't wear pants, and no one's outraged by that.
But is Daisy in a committed relationship with Donald or not?
I don't know what their terms are.
And are Minnie and Mickey
open.
A couple?
I think they're open.
But are they okay?
Because I've seen Minnie several times, like looking over at Goofy in like a let's go to the bathroom kind of way.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well,
and Pluto and Goofy. I'm still confused that Pluto and Goofy. Like, how is Goofy a dog and Pluto's a dog?
I was always like very into. Was it Porky Pig? Porky Pig had a
Porky
girlfriend.
Pig doesn't wear pants either. No, that's a man. That's privilege.
But didn't Porky Pig have a girlfriend?
Yeah, Petunia Pig. Oh my God, I'm a nerd.
I love Petunia. And
Petunia's great.
Can you look up Petunia? I'm pretty sure Petunia had pumps. And
She did.
And as like a little girl that always had really skinny legs, I loved like a curvy fat leg in a pump.
Yeah.
Like in cartoons.
Yeah, she had the little braids.
Oh, she's wearing flats.
Yeah,
Actually,
and you know what?
not
She's
as
also
hot
wearing
as I remember.
pants. She's wearing a nice skirt, unlike
Let me
her
see
boyfriend.
Daisy.
Full dong out.
Well, obviously, Daisy's. That's who I want.
Daisy's the like minx.
And Daisy's had. And Daisy has a huge ass.
She's got a big old butt.
She has a big butt.
She's got them duck bottoms.
Well, she better enjoy those shoes because they're probably going to be taken away from her for some sensible brown pumps.
But I mean, I say good for Minnie.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is a lot of talk. Spotify and Joe Rogan respond to complaints about the COVID misinformation. So basically, in a nutshell, he has his show. Spotify bought his show for supposedly $100 million. So technically, he does work for Spotify. He's, 11 million people listen to his show every episode. Mm-hmm. And he's had different doctors on, and they've talked about COVID over the last 2 years. Who's the guy, Willie? Who's the one that originally said, I'm removing my music from Spotify?
Neil Young?
Yes. Okay, so Neil Young, I thought it was someone else named Willie. Anyway, he removed his music, and people started talking. Joe Rogan responded, I think last night.
Joni Mitchell did too. Yeah,
last night in a direct video thing. And in a nutshell, Joe basically said, look, my podcast is conversations. And that's what I say, because I get shit too. Do your research, Heather. I'm so, and say this is not a news report. And I think people are still learning the difference between podcasts, because there are news podcasts.
There are.
And then there's conversational podcasts by comedians.
And also opinionated comedians.
Exactly.
Because the last time I checked, I was allowed to have an opinion.
Exactly.
And if it doesn't float your boat, I'm sorry. And by the way, I'm not high or drunk when I do these podcasts, comment people. Thank you. I read them.
Oh, some people think that?
Oh, yeah. They're like, Justin looks blazed every time he comes on the show. Justin looks like he's hungover. And I'm like,
God.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's...
I'm like, that's just his face. Stop being so mean, you guys.
And don't be jealous. But also, I get it. It's like, how am I allowed to not have an opinion, but you can make an opinion about me?
Yes.
Right? So if you don't like Joe Rogan, don't listen to him. I've been on his podcast twice. He's been nothing but lovely to me. Yeah. And I get it. He also can talk for a very long time. 3-4 hours.
Right.
And people stick with that,
Yeah.
I remember when I did his podcast, he had all this water around. I just kept drinking. And I was like, oh, God, if I have to pee, the podcast is over. I have to stay. Yeah. So I pissed myself. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I get it. And it's like, sure, if it's not your cup of tea, don't listen to it.
Right. And it's like, and the other thing is like, hey, and just relax, people. But I just want to say, when it comes to doctors and scientists, if you were to get a disease and the first doctor that you go to goes, immediately, we got to do this treatment. And you came home and you told your loved ones, they would say, okay, but let's go get a second and third opinion.
Yeah.
Isn't that the advice that we get? So it's not unheard of that one doctor might feel differently about something than another.
Exactly.
They're not God. They went to school. They make mistakes like everybody else. They get sued by like everybody else. And some are, and some can be great for and then make a monumental mistake and they have a patient die. It fucking happens. They're human.
I think that's the mistake that a lot of these people are getting, is that they're assuming that they're getting all of this information that the media and the government doesn't want to tell you about, and they're being told it's true. And again, like you said, it's like, oh, let's go get another opinion from another doctor. So again, it's a podcast. It's not a news podcast. It's not, but then you have the people who are like, well, what's real and what's fake? And I'm like, you have to figure out what you want to believe.
Right.
And then go with that. And so if you want to listen to Joe, who's, again, a nice guy, go for it. But if you don't, don't. But at the same time, he's not a news anchor.
Right, exactly. I think that's what people think. It's like there's one type of thing where someone is giving you information. There was a bombing in Israel.
Yeah.
The police report said this.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that are like, so I think Julia Fox is being an asshole.
Yeah. How dare you? Exactly.
I think this is a dumb thing that she's doing with her career. I don't agree with it. Maybe I'll be wrong. I can be wrong. She could be getting an Oscar in 2 years when Oscars are back in. I could be wrong. I don't know.
And this time, I'm confused just as much as everybody else. You know, it's like I just feel like there was a thing where like 250 doctors wrote into Spotify and saying like, oh, he's giving out false information, which I can kind of relate that to like comments, you know, like I'm going to complain about you till something gets done.
Right.
But then that's just 250 doctors in the span of all of the doctors.
Yeah.
So now I think they did something smart. They put up a little COVID disclaimer.
Yes.
Which is just a little like, hey, if you want to listen to this, that's fine, but some things are going to be said.
Yeah.
And if you're butthurt about it, sorry.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many other podcasts are? I mean, there's like a podcast called Cum Town. You know, it's like, which does very well.
Right.
And it's like, I just feel like it's, you know, he's a very successful man. He's good at what he's done. He good at what he does. He has an audience. You know, he's got the UFC crowd. He's got the, you know, the podcast crowd. He's definitely a huge name.
Yeah,
and
but
people are just like,
but I think, and then Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, I guess, said they're upset with it.
Oh,
and
of course.
They might want to leave Spotify. And someone's like, are you even on Spotify? Oh, you got all these deals with Netflix and Spotify. Where's the content?
Yeah.
You're still just feeding the chickens, complaining that you had to couch surf on, what's his name? Who's the guy that they had to couch surf on?
Oh, yeah.
How sad that was when they had no home and they had to go to
Santa Barbara and wine country and couch surf.
Yeah. And like, but anyway.
Try doing that in Hollywood. Like, my God.
But yeah, exactly. And so we don't want
and I feel like
we don't want censorship. We don't.
I don't want censorship. I think the First Amendment is there for a reason. I feel like if you're an artist, you should be able to express yourself. You know, and I feel like Neil Young and Joni Mitchell pulling their music, I think that's sure. And if that's their opinion, and if you don't want to listen to Spotify, there's Apple Music.
I have to say though,
iTunes, like do all that.
I have to say that I think,
but I love my Year in Rewind on Spotify.
But I want to say, I wonder if Joni Mitchell really had someone really kind of sit down and go, okay, I know you're feeling like really passionate about this. Why don't we listen to it for 3 hours? Why don't we talk about some other things? Are you sure? I feel like so many times people immediately see something and they're like, I'm fucking, you know, and they go crazy on the internet. Yeah, like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I've heard this guy is this way for so long that this is just the final nail in the coffin. And you're like, yeah, but you don't really know.
Yeah.
And I don't really know because I don't have time to listen. You know, I've listened to very little of his stuff, but I respect him.
He cooks elk meat and takes saunas.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just...
Sauna selfies.
Yeah.
Come on. And I think Joni Mitchell, and I love Joni Mitchell. I'm like a huge fan of Joni Mitchell. I think honestly it was like, you know, that older generation.
Yeah.
Not to age shame. But
Right.
yeah, she's from the 60s. And, you know, I feel like Neil Young was like, I'm pulling my music because of this. And she looked at her peer and was like, well, okay, well, I'm done too, girl.
Yeah,
like,
I know someone who died of COVID. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. This is a very exciting
Are they
news.
back?
Hollywood Unlocked is letting us know that the gay penguins at the New York Zoo became first-time dads. I've been following gay penguin life for a decade now.
We've discussed it many times.
I don't know if this is the same gay penguins, but they have been fostering so they got an egg with a little chick in it, and I don't know if the mom, you know, wanted to model or why she couldn't raise her own child. I don't know. I hope it was her choice. I hope she didn't have some parents that were like, not our penguin daughter, you know, and sent her to the Wayward Home for Penguin Sluts.
Oh, yes, I love a penguin slut.
Like they used to do in the 1950s. And then gave her, like, I hope that she was like, I have other plans. I'm just not the mom type. You guys are my two best gay friends.
Yeah.
You've been trying so hard to get pregnant. It's never going to happen. I hate to break it to you. And then but I have heard in the past that some gay penguins have stolen.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Stolen eggs.
They steal an egg.
I want to just, that's my concern as a mother, that this was something that she is an independent woman.
A free thinker, a loose spirit.
Hopefully, you know, because also like whoever impregnated her, does that dad have any
Deadbeat
rights?
penguin.
Or is he?
Yeah.
They could have just been like, this is such a fun experiment. We're in fucking New York City. Mm-hmm. Let's have the first gay dads to raise a penguin. And I just want to make sure that the rights of the biological parents were honored.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess we'll never know.
I don't really trust the zoo.
I don't trust the zoo either. It's caged. I think I mean, it's
they're not.
They need to be free gay penguins.
Unless this egg was captured at a fire department,
at a drop-off station.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm okay with the gay penguins having it.
I mean,
or she died.
But look at this picture.
Died. I mean, it's cute.
This is better. I mean, this is the Kanye Julia Fox picture that I wanted.
Yes, they're making out. It's really cute, and so we'll see how it goes. But I would like more information on the actual mother and father of that, and that like they're in a band.
Yeah,
they dropped off the egg at the fire department within the zoo. And they're like, we're good.
We're good.
We're gay allies. These are our best gay friends. They want to stay in the zoo forever and perform for the people walking by. We're done.
Oh, yeah. These gay penguins are going to teach this chick choreography.
Yes.
For the people watching. They're going to have, they'll give babies first mimosa.
Just everything.
It's going to be the best. It'll have the best tucks in the little
And I want to say, I can't remember if I was right. Can you just check? I think the chick might have been actually a chick. But no, maybe
like
it's
a
not
chicken?
born yet. No, I don't think it's out yet. I don't think it's been born yet.
The chicken hasn't come out yet?
I don't think it's cracked out yet.
Oh. Well, what a great coming out moment.
I know.
What's the chick?
We'll be following it. Okay, so Cheer, second season is back. Mm-hmm. As you know, this is a show on Netflix about this junior college that you just let me know you have a tie to.
I do have a tie to Navarro College. My brother actually went to Navarro College for baseball.
Wow.
And I had no idea that was the school. He was like, yeah, I went there, right? And I was like, oh, yeah. So, in Corsicana, Texas.
And do you call it a junior college or do you call it a community college?
I call it a community college.
So
I think there was community colleges. I mean, it's either way, junior college or community college. But in Texas, I think we kind of call them as community college.
And I said, oh, it's a junior college. And my son goes, what's a junior college?
Yeah.
And I go, it's a community college. He's like, oh, I've never heard it called a junior college before. And I go, oh, I guess, because I always go, get your book bag. And they're like, Mom, you're such an old loser. It's called backpack. And so I'm like, I wonder if junior college is another one of those things that's just
it's the new, we can't say junior college. Yeah. So I loved Cheer.
Yeah.
I'm from Texas. I don't know if you know, but I was a mascot in high school.
So you're getting that hot outfit?
I got into a hot outfit, and you're looking
were
at
you sweating? Did you lose weight?
Oh yeah, I was I ran. I was doing. You're looking at the former best mascot in the state of Texas. I went to these camps. I went to NCAA camps.
You didn't want to actually do the cheering and
no.
Okay.
I wanted to dress up and be like I was a cougar. Look how far I've come. So I would go to these camps and I would watch the cheerleaders and the dance teams compete because it was football's huge in Texas, and so cheerleading's just as extreme. And I could totally relate with this. It's very competitive. It is a sport to me. I identify cheerleading as a sport.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. And they're just basically gymnasts and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean they get beat up and bruised, and it's just very they love what they do. And this season, I you told me to watch because I hadn't seen it yet, so I was watching a couple of the episodes last night. And it was just so cute to watch them all well, I just really want to cheer, and, we just really want to put our hearts into it, because this is the season after the first one where they all blew up. So you see them, getting cameos.
I thought that was so interesting that we get to see, because so much of that is my always complaint about the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Is that they won't let them break the fourth wall and talk a little bit about now their life.
Yeah.
They have to do cameos. They're a guest on a podcast. whatever.
They're doing ads and sponsors and Good Morning America and Good Morning America Australia and all that stuff.
So I loved that we saw that. And so I had Annie look up, I think this is the next one, how much they got paid. So Navarro College and the rival schools, because the second season is the rival school.
Can I just say?
Only made $30,000 per episode per season, all of them. So they had to split $30,000 across the board, coaches, team, anybody that was featured at all.
Which is kind of shocking to me because Monica has an agent now.
And I feel like second season, we see Monica being like, talk to my person because and I think she's kind of feels badly that like these kids are getting exposed. So she's smart in that, like, you better hop on these deals now because they're not going to be around in a couple years.
Yeah.
That maybe one or two of them will go for, just like all the Bachelor people.
Right.
You know, every single one of them got the Instagram and got the podcast, and I'm sure
one or two will shine.
Yes, and now there's probably only like a handful of those Bachelor podcasts that are still doing well.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you better jump on this when you can jump on it. And it's interesting to see, you know, that they're doing all this and that they're trying to. I just love that we got to see. But I was always concerned, like the first season too. I'm like, I would like to also know, and I don't know if you know this, someone can tell me. I assume you've got to take a few classes at the junior college, at the community college, in order to qualify as being able to cheer for Navarra. And then you're like, she left, and then she came back, and she left, and she came back. And there was one guy in the background that looked about 45. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, and they're like, oh, you know, we have older people and younger people. And oh, now this person left. And, you know, so I'm like, literally, I get it. This is what you love to do. And if you're the mom, you're like, girl, I guess just do it until, I mean, if the show didn't exist, you just keep doing this till you're 26 or crippled, or what do you do? I mean, like, what is the goal? Like how, because then you don't want to leave the junior college to actually finish and get your 4-year degree, because then you can't cheer anymore.
Well, that's what I was also wondering, too, because, I mean, there's the all-star teams that they're talking about, and then there's the actual just Navarro College, which is reputable. Then, you know, Daytona is like the creme de la creme competition for NCAA.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, do they transfer to like a bigger university and try out for that team? Well, do you know what I mean? Because that's usually what people in community college do. They'll get their credits and then they'll transfer to a bigger school or something like that. But yeah, again, I don't know. It's like even when COVID hit in this season, and I felt so bad because they're like, oh, so-and-so's gone now, so-and-so graduated, like they didn't have that final. Because remember, it was like 52 days until Daytona, and then all of a sudden it went to like 200 days until Daytona, and you're like, oh, no.
Right.
And then I felt really bad about that, but like, yeah, I don't understand what the goal is. I mean, I guess you become a coach. You become,
right. So one girl actually did leave, go finish school at a 4-year, and then has come back in coaching, and she takes over.
And she has like, and she's so cute because she's like, I also was a student here, and Monica trained me, and now in her absence, because she's on Dancing with the Stars, I'm going to take over, and I'm a lot younger than them, and some of them are the same age, and some of them are way older than me, but they got to listen. And the whole time I'm like, that eyelash is not glued on right. It was like right here. She had that wonky eyelash, and I was like, oh no, no one told her.
So I started watching it because I was like, I want to know how they handle the fact that Jerry Harris, who was one of the stars that was on Ellen, that you know everybody loved, and he got to interview Joe Biden, and he's doing commercials, and people are like crying, and he's got this great spirit about him, and he does the mat talks, and he's a little overweight, but he gets to be on the cheer team, and clearly the breakout person. He got to be on E! Doing the Oscars.
Oh yeah, he was like the Leslie Jones of cheer.
They basically
just like they
probably fired you from E! In hopes to replace you with Jerry.
Well,
I heard that was the rumor. I
was not fired. I left accordingly.
Sorry. I apologize. Well, they were probably good because we got to have Jerry be the new. Well, now this takes the dark turn, but I want to talk about it because I thought it was super interesting. Amazing how they did this. Now, listen, I would tell people, if you're not into watching all the cheerleading stuff, because I have to say I got a little bored with the cheering stuff. But then I saw, episode 5
Episode
is
5,
just Jerry. And
it's called Jerry.
It's called Jerry. And I'm telling you, it is fascinating because I did not have all this information when the stories came out. And it's amazing how they handled it. And basically what happened is there's these identical twin boys that were doing cheerleading in middle school.
13 and 14, yeah.
And they meet Jerry at all these cheers things. Not only is he an older cheer person, but now he's a huge celebrity. He starts Snapchatting one of the twins and asking for photos, and sexual stuff is going on between the two of them. They meet at a event, and he says, meet me in the bathroom, meets him in the bathroom. He asks him for sex, doesn't force himself on him, but was really pressuring him, making him feel bad. And his identical twin brother, I think they're identical, but the twin brother sees his brother, and he's like, I just knew something was wrong. He confides into his brother. And I just want to say, I just love that there's two of them. I love that they had each other, these boys. And eventually, they still don't tell their mom. And the mom sees a little text from Jerry saying, something about...
So sorry that I did that. Yeah. I can't talk to you guys anymore.
And they thought, Snapchat, it's Snapchat, it's disappeared forever. Well, the mom did the research, and it's not disappeared forever.
For your eyes only.
Yes, and it was interesting. I remember there was a comedian on a podcast
by the name of
Crystalia. And people zoomed in on his face when he was like, yeah, but then Snapchat's gone forever. Yeah. And they're like, no, not if you do this thing. And he was like,
blurp.
Yeah. And so all that gets found out. And it's amazing. So they hire this attorney who was a victim.
Yeah, of the Larry Nassar case.
Right. And she's going to law school and still doing gymnastics, or maybe she was a freshman in college, I can't remember which, still going to him for her treatments that, was digital penetration in the anus and the vagina, never knowing that this was not appropriate, not okay. And so she goes on to be an attorney, and she's representing the boys. And then they arrest him. But first the mom goes and writes to the association, ignored, anonymously, writes to another association, ignored, and goes to the FBI, who, thank God, do get back to her on Monday. But at that point, she's like, in case they ignore me as well, I'm going to go to the media. And she gets the two women that investigated the whole
gymnastics,
gymnastics thing to write about this story. So then they arrest Jerry, and he does confess that not only did he do Snapchatting and all this with these boys, but he actually did have sex with a 15-year-old. And there was 15 other kids that never told. And the way the boys are showing their face.
Showing their face, yes.
The mother and I'm
so
just
brave,
so proud of them. And the amount of kids that they saved, because if they had kept their mouth shut, because 14 other kids kept their mouth shut that we even know of. There could have even been more, 14 kids kept their mouth shut. And this guy could have gone on to have his own gym, his own talk show, where a Michael Jackson situation, meeting kids, who knows? It could have gone on forever.
Well, and that's what I thought was interesting too, is that they had, they showed the age range. Like you were saying, they were like, there was some 45-year-old guy in the background. It's like, they had that cheer squad. They're like, how old are you guys? And he's like, well, I'm almost 30. And it's like, well, how old are you? I'm 13. It's like, why is this all just one group of just, when you're with those people all the time and you're flipping them and holding on to their bodies and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
It's like, why are we just mixing age groups together? Why is there not the teenage group and the men over 30 group? It's like, and I think it's sad. It's really, really sad. And the thing that really got me was when they tried to get him out on bail to do house arrest and being watched by all the mothers. There was a group of moms who were going to watch him under house arrest. And they were like, well, he knew things were getting bad and he threw away his phone. No. Yes. He kept his phone.
No, he got rid of his phone.
And then bought another one and did the same thing.
And started to pursue kids again. Yeah. And then I also thought it was interesting when Monica said that he wrote her and said, and was still super positive and was like, oh, I'm going to get out of this and be a motivational speaker. And then I thought it was interesting that his good friends
Ladarius
were like, I wish if I would have known.
and Gabby, yeah,
Like if I would have known, I would have said, don't even go down this path, or because you just can't believe that he did this. But then he's like, it was interesting because then they flash back and he goes, if I wasn't in cheer, they recorded this in 2019.
Oh, I know. I got chills.
If it wasn't in cheer, I would be in jail. I'd be doing bad things. I'd be doing this. I'd be doing that. So it's like.
And he's like, cheer saved my life. And
so
you're like, ooh.
He's not innocent. And then, when the one friend of his said, yeah, if I would have known, like, I would have beat him the shit out of him because he knows I was victim.
Molested. Yes. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh.
I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
But I'm just so grateful. Everyone should just be so grateful for these boys and this mother.
I'm glad these boys could be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Yes, and again, I'm like so glad they had each other.
I know, and I'm glad their mom.
If the one boy didn't have his brother,
yeah, it would have never been told.
Never spoken up.
Well, because that's what happened. Remember the kid. And the
brother
kid
probably
was
you know how like identical twins sort of sense stuff, so that like
they have that twin talk.
Yeah.
But even though when the first boy was molested, then Jerry started hitting up the second one.
Right. And which also that sometimes is what is also really fucked up for a victim.
Yeah.
Is that all of a sudden you're a victim to this molester, and then just like a normal relationship, they're over you and they reject you.
Yeah.
And you see them going for somebody else.
Like your brother?
So then you're re-victimized and you're hurt all over again in a weird way. And just how I just love that they were able to articulate, like, my grades went down. I felt self-conscious.
Of course they did.
And then the thing that when people were not like, we don't want to fuck up this great program and we don't want to lose Jerry. And when I was in high school, I had this drama teacher. And we were so excited to have this drama teacher because we were finally like going to improv competition, doing all this stuff that school had never done. And I was like a junior or senior, I think. And the guy was like always really talking close to me.
Yeah.
And at one point he like leaned in and like gave me a kiss on my cheek right here, really long. And I went into my English class and I remember I was crying. And I was like, oh my God, fuck. We're going to lose this whole good program. Like, nobody knows how to sign us up for this fucking stuff. We're doing one acts. And I think he's a really good teacher. Maybe he just doesn't know how to act in an all-girl high school. We only had like 3 men working there. So my English teacher was like, what's wrong? And I told her. And I remember I said, everyone's going to be furious at me if you fire this guy because we finally have a good drama department. Can you just tell him, like, he's walking a fine... Like, I was smart enough to know that, like...
You knew what was going to happen.
Like, yes, he's walking a fine line, but I'm giving you a warning. Like, don't try anything. And he was dating the dance teacher. Like, they were like a normal, like, 40, 30-year-old couple. So I don't know that he wanted anything more than really just to think I had a cute fat face that he wanted to kiss. I don't know. But he would like literally be at the front of the class and we'd be like a mile back.
Yeah.
Like he never, ever crossed the line again.
Did he apologize to you?
No, I think maybe, I can't remember. He might have actually. I just remember it changed. I got to do my Night Mother scene.
Oh, Night Mother. Oh, what a good one.
I got to do I was really enjoying the program.
It's a great high school
play. And what he
play.
was saying was like, he goes, you and you're a leader and like all this. And I just want to tell you how great you are, and I was just so glad to have someone like
a mentor.
Show interest.
Yeah.
But providing that went a different way. That is how it starts. You give this person attention. That's part of the grooming process. I saw this pedophile talk about it in sports. And he goes, you pick out the kid and you start giving them compliments and special attention that they're really good at this. And it's like, wow. I mean, it's just...
and just the shame. Like, that's the thing. Like, these kids spoke up and they were like, yeah, we walked down the hallway and everyone was looking at us and whispering and just, mad at us.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, because, you see these kids in the series where they're just like, Jerry! Yay!
Yes.
Can we hug you? And it's like, oh my God.
And just Hollywood. And also, like, I think...
Oh, yeah, that was kind of gross,
and you
too.
kind of wonder...
The Hollywood aspect
What I
of
would
it.
like to know, if they ever find out more, if somebody can do the research, were there any cases of him approaching these children prior to his fame?
Oh, like before Cheer.
Yeah, like, in 2016 or 17, when he was already 18 or whatever, was he still doing this at cheer competitions where he made young kids? Or
I would assume so.
Or did this, obviously it was underlying, but also did this fame and all this get him to a place of just, you know, how fame
untouchable,
changes people. Yeah, and I can have anything I want. I can get away with it. And this is what I
friends with
desire.
Ellen.
Yeah. Friends with Ellen. I'm friends with Joe Biden.
Yeah. That's what I thought was great. Was when the kid was like, I saw him talking to President Biden and I said I had to say something. And I'm like, good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job. So anyway, Britney is still wearing the brown pumps. Mm-hmm. There are 2 pairs of brown pumps I want people to know that I'm obsessed with. One is more of a Minnie Mouse heel with a rounded toe. These are the pointed toe. But she's very comfortable in the brown pumps. And she has now talked about that her suits and her dresses are expensive and that she also broke her foot 2 years ago. So people are definitely confident that she listens to Juicy Scoop and is aware that I'm obsessed with both her inexpensive outfits and her sensible brown pumps. What are you thinking? What's going on?
I don't know.
How do you feel about now in the Britney Spears? Give me your take. It's been a couple weeks. I want Justin's opinion.
Well, I do a bit on stage where I'm talking about it because
you'll see this weekend.
You will see this
at the
weekend.
Tempe Improv.
You will see me do it this weekend, but
Yes.
I am a little concerned because I put it out there like, when do we start regretting freeing Britney Spears?
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say. Maybe we shouldn't have put her back in the wild. It's just a lot at this point.
I do question the boyfriend.
There's something with the boyfriend.
The boyfriend.
Let me just clarify real quick. I'm glad she's free. It's
me
a
too.
joke.
Me too.
But I'm just saying, like, what we see, like, it's become an everyday thing where she'll have a picture of a little girl that's not her on a horse, or like, here's some flowers, or here's my broken toe from 2 years ago. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, like, I don't get it.
I either feel like the boyfriend is not very bright, or
he was an extra in her video. That's how they met.
I don't think he's very bright, and I think he just lets her do whatever she wants. But in that sense, that's not really a partner, because a partner should be like, wait a minute. But then again, she's been controlled by so many people. He's probably like, I better not even tell her to change a sentence.
Don't say shit. So, but it's also those things where it's like, I look at these things, and in my head, I'm like, this is weird, right? Does this seem off to you, where someone will send me a video or DM me something and I'll be like, yeah, what is this? And then I look at the comments and everyone's like, slay queen, live your life.
Right.
You are gorgeous. You are beautiful.
Yes.
And it's like,
yeah,
okay.
then she's loving that.
Yeah, I get it. It's a good
body's
compliment.
banging. The suit looks good.
Yeah.
Here she
There
is
it
in a
is.
yellow suit. Same moves.
Those Werther's original colored shoes.
She is very upset that national bestseller, the timing of your book is unbelievable, Jamie Lynn, especially knowing the whole world had no clue what was really done to me. So she's still mad.
You are scum, Jamie Lynn.
Yeah, she keeps... Ooh, she does say that?
At the very end, last line, you are scum, Jamie Lynn.
Yeah, so...
But here's the thing with this. Pick up the phone. Have a conversation. Why are we doing this back and forth Instagram post bullshit? It's your sister. If you have something to say, FaceTime, talk to each other. But I'm so over this, like it's so petty and lame. Just pick up the phone.
Recently, Kathy Hilton, on some Instagram, someone caught that she put like under comments at Rick Hilton, help me, get me out of this place. This trip is awful in Aspen or whatever, because there's all this blog talk that the girls were fighting and 2 went home, and I don't know. And someone's like, this is so funny that, Kathy does this. She thinks this is the way to get a hold of her. She knows.
She knows.
You guys.
Yeah.
her daughter is Paris Hilton. She's been using Instagram as a Real Housewife for a year and a half. She knows that this is not private when she writes her husband, and why wouldn't she call her husband?
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing. I read the comments. Everyone's like, she's such a hoot. She's so crazy.
What a wild one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Who's hunky-dory?
Yeah.
I think you're funny, too. You've added entertainment. It's a fucking act, you guys. Come on.
It's Hollywood.
It's like
you
this
really
gets people
think
talking. That she's like, doesn't understand. Okay.
Make it count.
Rihanna's pregnant.
Yay. She found love in a hopeless place. I'm so excited. I woke up to this. CNN exclusive. Rihanna's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
She looks gorgeous.
How long have they been together?
They've been together for, I want to say, maybe a couple years. Not
ASAP Rocky. They're not married,
this.
right? Nobody gets married anymore.
I don't think they are.
And what else? Oh, and Nick Cannon is pregnant with his 8th baby.
Are you kidding me?
No, you didn't see that? They had a baby shower this weekend.
I love the two of them. I think she's so great. I'm so happy for Rihanna. I'm wondering if she's going to have a rude boy or if she's going to treat this baby like she's the only girl in the world. I'm very excited to see.
You've been waiting for that. Thank God I got to this topic.
I thought about it on the way over here.
I know you did. And if I would have cut the story short, shut the
I would have been like,
short,
hey, can we just reshoot that?
I thought you would enjoy this. This Hollywood Unlocked is reporting that Jason Momoa is reportedly living in a $750,000 RV following the Lisa Bonet breakup right up in Topanga, up in Woodland Hills, between Woodland Hills and Malibu. And
this does not surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me.
Go off, King.
And I just want to say in LA, there's a lot of parked RVs nowadays. Mm-hmm. Jason could be in one of them.
He could definitely be in one of them.
He could be, and you wouldn't know it. You're just like, so.
I bet it looks like the shitty little tiny trailer, and then you walk in and it's like MTV Cribs.
But how amazing, though, if Kanye's talent scouts go out looking for homeless people and then approach Jason Momoa and say, listen, I think you could model. And then he's like, I'm Jason Momoa.
I'm Jason Momoa. Like, I'm Aquaman, bitch. Like, I don't need...
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were just an aspiring Kanye model.
No, I've done some things here and there. I love this. He's so hot. And yes, I honestly...
But it's parked near his friend's house, which is near her house. So he's like, I'll just live there and be able to see, I guess, the kids easily.
I bet there's a beanbag in there. I bet there's like some Nag Champa, incense burning.
Definitely. He can have all his Moroccan oil hair products there. Oof. Yes, definitely. I wanted you to know that this is one that I want to talk to you about.
Oh, no. What happened? I don't know.
Oh, there's nothing wrong. Okay. Nothing wrong. Wilmer Valderrama wrote this on a Juicy Scooper said, can you please discuss this?
Okay.
42 today.
Wow.
I am so proud of me, man. I've been working and lifting myself up for 2 decades. Once I learned that I could get up on my own at 2 years old, I knew that nothing could keep me down. I learned that every bruise eventually heals. I also learned to challenge my fears. I rhymed that on purpose.
Oh, shit.
What rhymes, though? I don't get what rhymes.
Heals and fears do not rhyme.
No, it doesn't.
I learned that every bruise eventually heals. I also learned to challenge my fears. Oh, no.
Heals and fears.
Leave the rapping to ASAP Rocky, Wilmer.
Yeah. Fearlessly facing a future I've built with my own 2 hands. To my beautiful family, especially my mother, for having me on this day. Congrats, Mom. Added that part. Back on... this whatever today is, and my incredible friends who are my brothers and sisters for life. Thank you for making sure I'd become exactly who I am today. And then he says to my daughter, who has an Instagram account, I get to kiss my daughter, and I'm a father. And to my unbelievable fans, thank you for being on this ride with me. Cannot wait to show you the road that awaits us ahead. My wolf pack, we've just begun. So, gosh. I mean, I wish it was my birthday because I'd totally want to parody this fucking thing. Wow. How did I do it?
A lot of you ask me this every day. And
it reminds me of the Snoop Dogg thing that everyone uses that voice. Like I've got one person to thank me. Like he won an award and he's like, I'd like to thank me.
I'd like to thank me.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah, why not thank yourself?
Yeah, I'm so proud of me, man.
Just when I thought that we could not be more conceited with social media as just always like taking 12 photos of yourself to do a slideshow because you literally can't decide if you look better this way or this.
That way.
Yeah. So you have to put them all. Yeah. So now you have to do birthday toasts to yourself.
Yeah. Cheers to me.
Yeah. And just say, God, what can I say, Heather? When you were...
It's your daily affirmation in the mirror.
What can I say, Heather? God. Like every day I wake up and I'm like, fuck.
We did this, girl.
You still look fucking great.
Yeah. You know how to scoop some juice.
Yeah, you, like, ever since you figured out how to put one foot in front of the other, guess what? You didn't stop.
You know what else?
You could have sat down.
Ever since Heather...
chose to keep walking.
You kept walking. And I'm so glad that you decided that day to go to Trashy Lingerie.
Yeah.
And pick out a piece of fabric.
That's right. That's right.
And wear it with confidence to your singles party at the Playboy Mansion.
I had a boyfriend.
And you know what? You just haven't stopped since.
I have not.
Here's to 25 years more. Take that, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, really, Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah. So, wow. Well, here's another brave moment. Hoda Kotb, which I always said, how does her namesake? How does Kotb be copy?
I mean, if this was on Wordle, I would jump off a building. If Kotb was the word, I'd be like, first of all, it's not 6 letters. I get that, or 5, or whatever it is. But like, Hoda Kotb.
She said, she is quoted as saying, Joel and I have had a lot of prayerful and really meaningful conversations over the holidays. And we decided that we're better as friends. By the way, that does not sound like a fun holiday. Ooh. We are better as friends and parents than we are as an engaged couple. We are going to start this new year and begin it on our new path and loving parents to our adorable, delightful children. I only thought they had one, but I guess they have more.
So
and then she just
engaged?
said she's very, very brave. Yeah.
But like they have kids together?
I think she adopted a child while they were dating and made him the father. But anyway, she's single and brave.
Single and brave. I mean, good for her.
Good for her, I guess. I don't know. Whenever it starts like this, it's like it's.
Joel and I have had. Okay, we got it.
I don't. It'll be interesting when it's not so fun.
I mean, girl, you drink wine in the morning. Live it up.
Oh,
Get a bigger
glass.
glass.
That's all fake too. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up. But one last thing I need you to see.
Oh yes,
is Madonna's ass. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, when is someone gonna tell her? Like, do you think her kids go, Mom, I know you got your ass done, but it's really actually not that good of an ass job, and it looks better covered. Could you just not feature it on an Instagram? Like, one thing to get your ass done, okay, fine. It probably looks really cute in like a dress, maybe if it's not skin tight.
Yeah.
But if you took a photo of it, I know you can't see it walking around because it's behind you, but Madonna, you took a photo of it and then chose to post it.
Yeah, it's. I think there needs to just be a Madonna butt Instagram account because I love this. I loved the Madonna under the bed with her ass out, and this is Madonna at the car with her ass out.
Yes,
I think she asked for a Brazilian butt lift, and they gave her a Brazilian butt laugh because it's like it's so much. It just. I think it looks like if you flip her upside down, it looks like a fly with antennas.
Yes. Yes,
like
those
fly
eyes.
Yeah,
those eyes.
Yeah, it looks like an insect face to me, and I can't not see it otherwise. Like anything else.
People have been talking that the ass might be headed out in fashion, like stale. Like people are. I think she might be the place where it turned a corner. Hard, sharp ass corner.
It's very strange to me, and I'm not trying to. It's just a lot because I'm like, is she a Bratz doll at this point?
Yeah,
I don't under. Is she? It's just a weird. I know she's always reinventing herself, and everyone always uses that as like an excuse. Like, well, she's the queen of reinventing herself, and I'm like, I know, but like, what is this? What era is this? Like, we had the Spanish era, we had the Vogue era, we had Now we have this like weird Madam X, Gen Z TikTok Madonna. And I'm like, I'm very confused about it. And she's like smoking weed. She still has a grill in. I don't know. What do you think?
I just think it's just exhausting.
It's Madonna, and I'm
but
like...
then someone could say that about me. Like, Heather, what are you doing going out on a Saturday night at Craig's in a miniskirt?
At the end of the day...
Do you think they're saying that about me?
No, but I going back to what you said, can you love yourself too much? And we said no, and I think, Madonna's in love with herself, and if she's doing that, then she's happy.
And then again, you should love yourself.
Love yourself.
And on that note...
She's happy with her butt.
I love you.
I love you.
And we're going to have fun at the Tempe Improv. One show Friday the 4th, the other two Saturday the 5th. Come see us. Hear what we have to say. We do talk even more freely, way more freely at a live show.
We do.
Than
just don't get
podcast.
crazy.
Yeah, at a podcast.
And don't get locked in a closet when you see us.
That's right. Please be careful. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.